And we are back. We are back. We are back. Okay, now here's the situation. We are back. Now, what did I tell you? I know where this conversation gonna go. And people gonna start to think, oh, well, she's really talking about lower middle class people, economically. And, I mean, we don't know, people don't do that. How about in Irvine, California? Orange County doctor is accused of poisoning her husband with Drano. She would put it in his lemonade, and how they knew there were hidden cameras in the home where she took the Drano out and was mixing it with lemonade. Okay. He started having unusual symptoms in the spring of this year, March and April, and he went and said that they found some toxin in his body and he had a chemical taste in his mouth. He then set up cameras in the kitchen, and that's when they discovered she in there cleaning and everything and poisoning the man with Drano. And they shared children together. These were upper middle class, affluent people. It doesn't matter. But there was a history of emotional and physical abuse. But they try to hide behind the mansions and the BMWs and the Mercedes. And it's real. Their abuse doesn't know a color. They don't know a gender. They don't know a religion. Abuse is abuse. And no matter how much you love someone, if a person, for whatever reason, is jealous of you or they don't like you, there's nothing that you can do about that. Absolutely nothing. You can bend over backwards. You can give them everything they ever ask you, and they're still not going to like you. So what you have to do is give them the gift of goodbye. I'm not angry with anyone that felt that I only had a benefit while I was a judge. I understand that. I'm angry with myself that I thought those relationships were real. In my mind, I thought they were real, and they weren't. I'm not mad at nobody for trying to get, that's just what people do. I'm mad that I thought that our friendship was real. I'm mad that I thought that your concern for me was genuine, and it wasn't. That's all. I'm mad at myself, but I'm glad I saw that. So now I'm in a position where now I'm self-healing. And so I do feel bad because there's a guard around me, but what I feel is it's better this way. You understand what I'm saying? Because here I was sticking my neck out for people who didn't give a damn about me. They didn't care. They on to the next one. Oh, that's Judge such and such. But when that person was a prosecutor or a defense attorney, okay, you had something slick to say about them, but now they a judge, you all up in their grill. We know that. Now that you a foreman, when you was a line worker with me, I couldn't stand you, but now you know you a management. Okay? And you like, well, wait a minute, what about us? But that's real. Because what they're in love with is the position of authority. They're not in love per se with that individual. Many of you on here may be too young, but we once had a mayor, the Honorable Coleman Young. And this is back before, we had, like cell phones. He had phones. He had two phones. You know what I'm saying? They would ring nonstop. But the minute he left office, the phones wouldn't ring anymore. It was so bad that toward the end of his life, his caregivers basically had to beg people to come see about him. Because you know what they say, long live the king is dead. I don't need the king. The king can't do nothing for me. You can't give me contracts. You can't give me a position. So I don't need you anymore. But you, okay, but we on to the next one. And then when they dethroned, so what people do is they fall in love with the power. You take a person who, a very simple looking person. I mean, okay, then all of a sudden they become fine. When you take them and strip them down of that, you will not look at them twice. And I'm talking about from the movie stars to the politicians to the people that we work with. Okay? You like, huh? You take that from them and they look like a hot mess. Stop letting people be in love with your status. Well, I ain't no rich person or I don't have no. Yes, you do. The fact that you can organize your finances, the fact that you got peace. Do you know it's people who don't like you because you got peace? I can't stand her. She act like she too good. Why? Because I don't do the things that I used to do. Because I don't run to the bar, get drunk, fall out, because I don't do that no more. Oh, you think you better now, don't you? No, I just think that what I was doing was stupid. And you ought to think that too. But they don't see that. So they want to talk about you, make you feel bad about it because you're not doing what's killing them. Let me say this to you, me included. I couldn't wait till Friday came. So I go to happy hour, or I'm gonna wear this, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna get my hair done. And when I walk my dogs now, there's a bar that I go by. I walk by it. And baby, they can't wait to get in there. And I say, here they're gonna spend $100. They could potentially kill somebody coming home. They poisoning themselves and calling it fun. And it's not. But they got to be delivered from that. So what I do, I stay in my own lane. We talk stuff, for y'all that want to, we talk about how y'all done change your life. I mean, we sharing stories and everything. But what we find out is you can't tell nobody that. Because then people I stay in my lane and I do me. I stay in my lane and I do me. And that's what we have to get to. But you're going to have to start evaluating the people in your life. And one of the things that I started off at the beginning, and I'm almost, going to wind it down a little bit more, you got to get these abusive people out your life. Because nobody thought this was going to happen. I think I would probably be here in this seat till 20, was it the 13th, 14th? I would probably be here to this time sitting in this seat 2026 telling you about what I've seen in my courtroom, how people who love somebody dogged them, betrayed them, many times killed them or harmed them. Just because they just couldn't stand them. There has to come a point in your life where you have to make that evaluation because life is too short. Well, I'm going to do this job that's killing me for 15 more years because they got this good pension and these benefits. Baby, you may not even make 15 years because it's killing you inside. Because every time you come, your stomach hurt. Because every time you see your boss, you want to throw up because it's too much. But you keep going because you say, you know what, that's just a man thing to do, or that's just the woman thing to do. And you're dying inside. And you look up, as my doctor said, you know how you kill a frog? You put him in water and you turn up the heat gradually. He don't know, but he burning up inside. Your health is your wealth. And if being in a toxic environment, whether it's your work environment, your intimacy environment, your friendship, you got to let it go. And let me say this to you, life may be a little bit more challenging, like you may not get all the money, but let me tell you something, there's a peace. The Bible talks about the Quran, the Torah, that's the path that's all understanding. All hell can be breaking loose, but it's a peace in your life that you say, you know what? I'm going to get through this some kind of way. And people say, do you know what's happening? Do you know that you got 4-stage cancer? Do you know your husband's leaving you? Do you know your children on crack? Do you know that your son got killed? But there's a peace that's the path of all understanding. It's not a piece of acceptance. It's just a piece to know I'm going to get through this somehow. And when you start to depend on that peace, you don't need all of them people in your life. You don't need to be in a toxic environment. You need to let that go. And that's how you live long, getting rid of toxic people in your life. But y'all just keep doing, oh, okay. Honey, I know. Listen, let me say this to you. What the enemy meant for evil, God meant for good. I am at a point in my life that I thought I was losing everything. Oh my God, I'm not going to be a judge. Baby, I got peace now. My stomach don't hurt. I don't want to go to the bar. I don't want to do none of that. I just want to live good. I don't want nobody to know my name no more. You ain't got to know that. I'm a used to be. Okay, I'm all right with that. But there's a peace. And we need to get that in our lives so that we can continue, so we can live a little bit longer. Because what cancer is when your cells start going in the wrong direction. Instead of going left, they go right. And then they cluster up together. More and more go right, and that's cancer. Your life depends on it. You got to get this toxic and stress out of it. I'll be back.